If you like to give the colors in the picture more contrast, or if you like to give the color more saturation, I can show you a great tutorial for doing that. That's my technique, what I use when I like to give the color more punch, more brilliance. I call this technique painting with fill layers. So what I do is I choose the part what I like to change, like the jacket here of the model. I like to change the color, I like to change the dark black tone here. So what I do, I create a new fill layer, new fill layer, a solid color, and I change the blend mode from normal into soft light. And then I choose my color tone, more a warm tone, or do I like to have more a blue tone? I like to have more a blue, like that. And then I click OK. Now I take a look at the picture, how this color tone will affect on the rest of the picture. And I think, no, I don't like to have this color tone the whole picture. I just like to have it on her jacket here. So what I do is I invert the mask to hide this layer. And now I can paint back the effect into the picture with my brush. So I choose a brush with 100%. Maybe the color is a little bit too saturated. So I double click right here, and I don't like to use too much saturation. And now I paint back the color into the picture. I like this blue. And I paint it inside the picture right here. On the arm. I don't like to change the whole color of her jacket. I just like to add a little color tone on her jacket. On her hair just a little bit. Okay, that looks good. Maybe it's a little bit too much, and now I can change the opacity, or I change here the color tone. I change the opacity just a little bit, 80%, before, after. It looks great. Now let me change the color just a little bit on her shoes, or add a little bit more contrast to her shoes. So what I do now is I create a new fill layer again. New fill layer, solid color. Now the shoes, I change it to soft light. I can pick up the color right here, and now I can change the color just a little bit. Maybe a little bit more of this warm tone. So what I do, I take a look at the whole picture, how it would look like, and I see, yeah, it looks good, but I just like have this tone on the shoes. So I invert the mask to hide this layer, and now I paint back the color just on her shoes. And you will see I not only have more saturation, I also have more contrast, because the blend mode, soft light, brings more contrast into this color. Okay? And I do that with every color in the picture. Let me do one more time with this part of the picture. I choose a new layer, new fill layer, solid color, soft light. I click right here. Now I like to change the color just a little bit, like that. I invert the mask and I paint back the effect. I have more contrast and more punch, more brilliance in the color. Now look at the before after. Before, after, before, after. You can do that with the jeans, with the green right here. You can also do that with the skin tone. It works perfect. That's my technique for giving the color more contrast or change the color just a little bit.